So, if you ask me what the cherry on this cake of dacoit is, why are you smiling? Why are you smiling?
I'm worried you'll pull up the gun and the fake money and show it as the cherry.
No, that's not it. But for me, it's like, I think we finally got you a name. You know how people have Rebel Star and,
Right.
you know, like Natural Star and all that. You
Yes.
don't have anything.
Yeah,
And I think I feel an acute lack of it.
I've performatively rejected it. Not rejected. I've not paid heed to it.
I think it should be called Dancing Star.
Dance. Oh, because I dance.
Yeah.
No.
See, look how I led up to that.
But yeah, you set me up for,
I
for a
set you
trap.
up for
But see, the thing is, in a nation of Hrithik Roshans and Allu Arjuns, and you shouldn't call yourself a dancing star unless you can do that level.
Right. But what made you say, this is the first time you're doing this big ass, the formulaic dance kind of a thing, right? What made you say, this is something that I want in my movie? Because let me go back a little, because when I saw you in Bahubali, now that's not your typical zone of movie, or at least the ones that you've been putting out, because that's a proper old school hero villain saga, and everything is at a roaring decibel and all that kind of stuff, right? You somehow, the role was not big enough for you to kind of do anything, but somehow when I think back of that, I'm like, oh, actually it's a little difficult, a little funny also to think of Adivi Sesh in Bahubali, because that's so not his kind of movie. But then we come to Dacoit, and it looks like you're kind of breaking a few perceptions around yourself and trying to say, listen, I know this is what you think an Adivi Sesh movie is, but this is not going to be that.
Can I sound pompous for a second?
Yeah.
That's what acting is. No, I'm just kidding.
Okay.
But I think, see, it's one of those catch-22s, because if I do 2 more films where I have a very serious expression and I'm figuring out some twist, I run the risk of an audience saying, yaar, aur kitne twist dega?
Yeah.
You know, which kind of happened to sort of, when I was a kid, it happened to M. Night Shyamalan. After The Village, people were just like, dude, is the twist your only trick?
Yeah.
Before he made some other good films. But the point was, after those 3 or 4 iconic ones, that became your signature.
Yeah.
So my point was, I want to be many different signatures as an actor. And that's the whole reason. You want to make believe, you want to play. And I thought Dacoit was a film where, this is my first film after Panja, where I was a villain. I was sort of the main villain in that film, where I was just so loud and outward and explosive. I think Dacoit is my first film after Panja, after so many years, after more than a decade, where I get to be so outward. And in being outward, imagine a guy 13 years trapped in jail, and he broke out of jail. What is the first thing he's going to do? And I thought he'd go ballistic. And the question became, do I want to go ballistic in sort of a raw fashion? In the way, for example, you say in Satya, Mama, Kallu Mama, they're just sitting in the room and they're dancing.
Yeah.
Or do I kind of want to make it a little glamorous? Put some beautiful lights, make it a fun song. I thought it was my only chance to do something like that, because in the room, the lights, I will have a chance to do that. But I don't have, in the ideas I write, it's very rare that I get an opportunity to actually have a reason for a song to exist. And it's actually a part of the story.
Right.
Once I've escaped. And I thought this was a lovely idea. Like, in that classical Indian way of storytelling, where you have a song, but there's some storytelling happening in the middle BGM of the song, all that stuff. So I thought, let's try. The reason I never danced before, we were speaking about childhood traumas before our interview began, had to do with something like that. It was when I was a kid, it was this aunt who came up to me and said, you're so much taller than the other kids. Gangiredla, no, don't dance. She said that to me. So that kind of stuck in my mind, this idea that, oh, maybe I don't know how to. And I would always, whenever there's a friend's wedding, when we're in the Bharat, I'm dancing my heart out. But in my mind, no one's judging anybody then. Because you're just standing around the dhol, or you're standing next to your friend, holding his hand as he's sitting on the horse, and it's not a judgment of your performance skill. So there was this sense that that lady in my mind was always there, that I don't know how to do it, I don't know how to do it. So I thought, if Hari as a character in Dacoit is meant to be this free and this outward, let's let our hair down for a second.
So, I want to ask you this. not from a politically correct point of view, but just to, I'm curious about what you think because you process everything very interestingly. So the typical argument against special song numbers like this, which used to be called item songs and then became special songs, is that the woman is being objectified. And even here, Jonita, big surprise seeing her, in the song.
She's a lovely, lovely
Yeah,
person.
yeah, and there's a shot of her hips and like a close up and all that. And this goes back to the traditional 80s, 90s kind of how. What is your whole take on this? Because I have also heard heroines say, "I work very hard to kind of have this physique, and if I want to show it, it's my thing." So it's. I mean, I've never. What do you think about that?
I think there's nothing wrong with a beautiful woman looking sexy, and I've always been okay with that. One of the favorite songs I've loved watching on TV was Tip Tip Barsa Pani with Ravina Tandon and Akshay Kumar, and that is the sexiest song I have ever seen. So for me, that was never like like a hindrance. I think for me, I get into plausibility. Are you putting that into the film? Look, all film is manipulative, right? Because if film is not meant to be manipulative, you're not meant to have background score. You're not meant to change outfits.
Yeah.
So film is manipulative by its
fiction,
way. It's film. So within the realm of that fiction, are you creating like a plausible reality for this to happen?
Okay.
That's where I draw my standard at. And off screen, have you truly made sure that the person doing what they do, and you, if you are also part of that scene, are you both comfortable? Have you been spoken to? Have you been informed? Because I think oftentimes some of the tough experiences become about, they didn't know it was going to happen. They just kind of got ambushed on set, and you've got 200 people standing around. You don't want to waste anybody's money and time, so you kind of just get pressurized into doing it. Whereas here, every move, every shot was discussed, rehearsed. Recently I'd put out the video of me and Jonita rehearsing. So it's like, she sang the song.
Yeah.
She sang the song. She danced the song. If anything, since it wasn't my voice on the song, I am probably less of an owner of the song than she is, in that sense. But at the same time, it was done with the utmost respect.
Yeah. No, I get it. These are all, these are all complicated arguments, So I just wanted to know what you thought.
Yeah.
But how was it dancing?
It was great. I think my only issue with it was we did 6 nights until 6 a.m., which was wonky. And, like after 1 or 2, everybody from me to the lightmen were all like, huh, what? Yeah, what are we doing? So other than that, I just thought it was incredible what Pawan Singh ji did. I thought it was incredible what Jonita did. Pawan Singh ji came for one of those nights, and he just kind of brought this elemental swag and presence to the song. And I'm telling you, the energy on the set went up.
It's so sweet to hear him speak Telugu.
Yeah.
Why did you go after him?
I've danced on his songs at weddings.
Okay. So somebody you had in mind.
Yeah, and I mean, when we first heard the song, we were like, this has a heartland flavor. The song has a heartland flavor. And the sounds, we were like, one discussion Shanil and I had was, yaar, ye gana Hindi gana lag raha hai, sunne mein, but it's for a Telugu movie. And Shanil is like, bhai, we're also making a Hindi movie. You've got 2 beautiful love songs that are probably a little more Telugu in their soul. Why not have this that's a little more in its soul? So we brought in Pawan Singh, and he elevated the set. It was so beautiful and kind of cute to hear that he was super nervous. Like, I'm in a lungi, I'm singing a couple of lines in Telugu. Am I going to do right? Am I going to get ridiculed? Like, that was his own fear. And at the same time, we were nervous. We're like, will we make a song that's worth his time? This is a man who casually puts out videos with 400, 500 million views. Casually.
Yeah.
Which is like, and Jonita, I was just extremely surprised by how hardworking she is, because I'm the hardest worker on my set usually. Very, very few people can outwork me. And she did. And the last day, this was it. It was our last day of shoot. We had a rap event in a few hours, and we were still shooting. and it was becoming daylight, and we were putting a black cloth to hide daylight for a night song. Her crew had to go. Their flights were missing. Last 2 hours, her crew is gone. She doesn't even have someone to hold up a mirror. And she's still dancing. She's like, you want to try this? You want to try this? You want to try this? And I was just like, this woman's work ethic and what she brings to the table is extraordinary. She's the first time that I've met a performer where I was like, whoa, she made the song more important than herself, which was quite beautiful.
Quite amazing.